Hey guys, this is Dima from DriedDog.com, and today I will be reviewing a few Spigen cases. First up is the Spigen Ultra Thin Air for the Galaxy Note 2. Comes in a really fancy box. As you can tell, it's all hard plastic, and I really love their boxes. And here's the case. It's a really simple case, very thin, very light, weighs almost nothing, and it's supposed to be a minimum level of protection without interfering with your phone's looks or feel. It snaps in extremely tight, and it's fairly hard to get off, which I like. It gives off a feel of quality. As you can tell, it doesn't really interfere with looks, just slight lines on the side. And the back has nice cutouts for everything, including the S Pen slot, which is nice and big. And the texture is matte black plastic. So other phones have other textures. I've seen the Galaxy S3 Ultra Thin Air has a metallic texture, and the Galaxy S2 Ultra Thin Air had a gloss texture, but this is matte black plastic, and they also have a white version available to my knowledge. And overall, this is an extremely nice case. It doesn't interfere with the looks or function, and it's a pleasure to carry around. It doesn't add bulk. Of course, it's not going to be great protection for extreme drops, and it probably won't last more than a few serious drops, but that's what it's designed for, and I love that about it. I already dropped it once accidentally, and all it got was a few scratches, no damage to either the phone or the case. And this is by far my favorite case out of all of them. Now, it also came with a screen protector. Spigen's screen protectors are something special. I hate screen protectors in general, but this one I actually kept on. It feels like glass, it doesn't feel like crappy plastic, and it doesn't go to the edge of the screen. If it went to the edges of the screen, it will start peeling off because these are rounded edges. But as you can see slightly, there is an outline on the sides and the home button. The first time I put it on, it was crooked, and I peeled it off and put it back on just fine. The adhesive stays and it doesn't get damaged, and it wipes off really easily. It scratches a little more than the normal glass, like I have a few scratches on it, nothing deep, but it protects really well. It's completely clear, it never produces any rainbow effect. It's absolutely fantastic, and it's the only screen protector I can actually bear using. Now, taking these cases off is the fun part. They have a really tight fit, so it's actually fairly difficult. I've gotten the hang of it, but the first time I tried to take these off, it was so tight I was afraid of breaking them, but I realized that they're actually really good quality. There you go. Next up is the Illuzion. The Illuzion has a very similar box, aside from the extremely rounded two corners, but it's an interesting case. It is actually made of faux leather and has a clip right here. Inside you'll find a different color, which I think is really nice. The two colors accent each other, and 3 slots for your credit cards. Now, this has what is basically an ultra thin air inside it attached, so it's basically the same concept. Slide it in. They recommend putting in the left side first on this specific case, and there you go. It has no magnets or anything, but the inside is a nice material, very textured. The outside is a faux leather material. This clip works very nicely. The cutouts are nice. Of course, it is a bulky case, as you can tell, but it's a special case made for specific people. If you want, you can keep your credit cards in here if you have very few, especially with, like, if you had a Google Wallet physical card, which should come out eventually, who knows. This would be very useful. It basically replaces your wallet. Now, there is a special edition for other phones, which actually has a pocket here for stuff like money. This one does not. But it's still a great case, and I absolutely love the color choices, the quality, it feels nice. And I wouldn't use it personally just because I don't like bulky things. This isn't easy to fit in your pocket, but it would be great for people with a bag or a purse. And I actually know a person who bought one of these for their Galaxy S3 because they liked it so much. It doesn't interfere with any functions, volume buttons are nice and open. Power button has a nice big hole in it, just like the Ultra Thin Air. If it was smaller, it would be harder to press the power button, but since it's so large, it's easy to get your finger in there. Cutout for the S Pen specifically, not as easy to get out, but still fairly easy. It's just a really well-designed case and a very nice-looking case. I'm sure it'll get a lot of compliments from people, but it's bulky. And again, we're going to have a bit of difficulty taking these off. This one's even tighter than the Ultra Thin Air. And again, it just scares me taking something off this phone. Feels like it's going to break. Last up is the Spigen Ultra Flip. Now, I got a metallic series, and they come in the same box. Absolutely wonderful. And these are very similar to Samsung's flip cases, but they have one big difference. A Samsung flip case replaces the back of the Galaxy Note 2 and basically provides no protection in the back. It's an extra back panel with a flip case attached. This, however, is an actual case. So it's also somewhat similar to the Ultra Thin Air, but it is thicker. It provides more protection. You just slide your phone in, just like any other case, and it snaps in really tight. And again, I really like how tight they are because it just makes the phone feel more secure. Some cases are so loose that they fall off if you drop it. Now this is basic metallic texture, but it's not actually metal. It feels like some sort of nylon. The back is plastic covered in the same material, while the sides are glossy. The gray one accents the gray Galaxy Note 2 really well. The cutouts are all nice and big one for the S Pen, speaker. USB port has a really big cutout, meaning you can use any USB cable. And same thing with that earphone port. And the flip cover stays on really nicely. It has a card slot right here. I would put my card in there, but unfortunately it has an NFC tag in it, so every time I flip it to the back, the NFC goes off. But it flips to the back really easily, it's comfortable to hold, and it protects the screen. The inside is microfiber, so it's nice and soft, and it actually stays, unlike a lot of cases, like Samsung flip cases, it actually stays down when you hold it. And it does add a little more bulk than the Ultra Thin Air, but this still remains a very slim phone. It's easy to press the power button, and I've actually really enjoyed using this case despite not liking the idea of a flip case before. And I highly recommend all three of these cases. Obviously, Spigen is probably my favorite case company there is. So if you want any of these, there will be links to the article in the description of the video. And this has been Dima from droiddog.com. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.